It's not always all about me. Sometimes. Season 4 rendition by the lovely and talented Roger Pleasant.
He is lovely, isn't he?
You've never met him.
No, I just assumed. He has a lovely name.
Thoughts and impressions on the theme song, Madeline?
I like it. It's catchy.
This was my wedding song.
Was it really? It's like, wait, it wasn't invented.
No,
when you
it was Whip It. Yes. Whip It by Devo.
That's weird.
It could be your remarriage song.
Remarriage song. It might happen. Who knows?
Yeah. Who's to say?
I'm only 57. I've got a couple months left.
Drum riffs aplenty. All right, we're going to phase that out. Welcome to Big Words I Know by Heart, a program of rants, raves, faves, pet peeves, personal vendettas, celebrity interviews, and anything else we can fill the half hour with. My guest today has been doing stand-up in Rochester and beyond since 2013. Mm-hmm. In 5 years, she's won awards in the March Laughness. That's not you, Madeline.
I'm not her.
March Laughness Tournament, Ladies of Laughter in NYC, and the Q's Comedy Showcase, among many, many others. This weekend, she'll be appearing at the Finger Lakes Comedy Festival, followed by a show at Binghamton University. Mm-hmm. And next month, she'll be featuring at Rob's Comedy Playhouse. You will not be letting the lobster loose, so correct?
The lobster?
It's a buffalo joke.
Oh, okay. I was like, I don't know what you're saying. I have no idea what you're saying. I will not be letting the lobster loose, no.
It is my pleasure to welcome Madeleine Smith.
Yay! Thank you. Thank you.
Joining us in the co-host hot seat as part of a plea deal is cartoonist and Starchy The Dark Spud creator Mark McElligott.
Yay! Wait, what is your name? What is your last name?
McElligott. He gets it wrong every time.
Oh,
On purpose. It's all good.
Madeline, you've been crowd warming us before the show.
Yes, I know.
Breaking the ice.
I was asking questions about everyone's life. Well, mainly just your life. I didn't really ask about Tom's life at all.
Well, I'm better looking. I'm used to that sort of thing.
Of course. The female attention.
And that, Mark, that's all the airtime you get.
That's fine.
And see you later.
Madeline, you, my friend, are going places.
Thanks, man.
You're moving up. You got an agent?
I did. A cruise ship agent, which is an agent, but not as impressive as just like any agent.
It's good money, though, right?
Well, they said it was. I haven't started yet. I start in a couple months with the cruise ship, so hopefully it is. Hopefully it's as good as they said.
The nude cruises were jokes?
No,
nude cruises?
The nude cruise is real. What happened was sorry, this is a very weird story. So she called me on Monday and she was like, not this Monday, but it was a Monday in June. and it was 6 months after I had submit to the agency. So I thought that they were just not going to choose me. But then I guess she said they get many submissions, and for some reason she narrowed it down to me and this other guy, and she wanted to represent both of us. So on Monday, that Monday in June, she was like, on Thursday I'm going into Carnival Cruise Lines and I'll pitch you, and I think they're really going to like you, because she was like, there's no like young female comedians who work for them. So it was kind of like as like a novelty, but it was, but I was very excited. And then I just was very, very nervous, and I kept thinking I wasn't going to get it for the whole time. And then on Thursday, she emailed me the Thursday of that week, and she was like, oh, they loved you got it. And then she was like, are you comfortable performing in front of naked audiences, because they do a nude charter cruise? No. And I was like, yeah. And I looked it up, and they do. It's like a nudist group kind of, I think, like takes over these like certain Carnival Cruise Line boats and like charters the water, and they go to all these really cool islands. And I was like, yeah, totally. I don't care. Yeah, I mean, it's like you get paid the same amount of money, and I was like, I want to get the money. So,
funny.
Yeah.
That should be interesting.
Yeah, I'm actually really excited. I'm actually really excited. I think it'll be really funny. I think it'll be really good material. I don't think it'll be like as weird or creepy as people think it is, because I think it's mainly just like old naturalist type people. So I don't think it's going to be like any like young, like hot people. I think it's gonna.
Attractive people don't do that.
Yeah,
Generally.
it's gonna be old, ugly people, which is I would rather have it be that. So.
It's going to be pop bellies and sagging boobs. So if you picture Mark naked, you have all that with Mark.
He knows I'm sensitive about becoming a B cup.
It's okay.
Okay.
It's all right. Don't worry about it.
Mark,
Cool.
don't encourage Mark, please.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Madeline, what tricks and techniques did you carry over to stand-up after studying musical theater at Fredonia, and is rolling a joint properly one of them?
Oh, because I said about Fredonia and Weed, how people in Fredonia love to smoke weed and drink alcohol. Yes, I did smoke a lot of weed in Fredonia. So can we talk about that?
Sure.
I was just wondering if this is like public access. Are you allowed to talk about
We can say
drugs?
whatever we want.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It's
yes.
This is a safe, it's a safe space.
Well, I always did theater for a really since an early age for like a long time, and I wanted to go to college for musical theater, but I think that the reason I wanted to go was because I didn't like know that stand-up comedy was like a viable like option that you could do, and then I was going for theater, and I was very frustrated by it because I felt like I would never get cast in like musicals and stuff because I was like very not like the prototype of women that they put in musicals. I don't know. And also I'm not a good dancer and not, just like all those things. So I was very frustrated by it. And then when I was like 19, I was like, oh, I really want to do stand-up comedy because at Shays, I went to go see Chelsea Handler, who actually is
nice.
Really funny, but also kind of like horribly racist. So it's like, it's like weird mixed emotions about that. But so I really wanted to do stand-up. And then for 4 years, I kept saying I was going to do it and then not doing it. And then finally I did it, and I think at first I did it more like monologue style and I didn't do crowd work until like 6 months in because I was very scared. But the musical theater stuff helped with doing like monologue style writing.
There's watching your stand up on your YouTube, there is a theatricality to your material.
Thank you.
You don't stand like a stick and just talk straight to the audience. You get involved. There's some classical training there, I think.
Oh, thank you. That's really nice of you to say. I appreciate it. And it helps a lot with doing like impressions and stuff, which I do think, I know some people think doing impressions is like very a hacky thing to do, but I like to do it. And then I do. Yeah. I mean, I'm just saying, I know some people are like, oh, it's dumb, but I like to do impressions. And you were saying before we start rolling about the Julie Andrews one, that one helps a lot to know so much about musical theater and have all those like voices to be able to do. Yeah. So that's good. Yeah, that's good.
And then as far as the cruise, how will you create new material for that particular demographic? Does your husband, Phil, get to ride along? And what will you do to combat scurvy?
Well, that's a good question. All good questions. That's funny that you said about Phil, because when I first got the job, everybody was like, can your husband come with you? Which is fine. But I was like, it's not really a big deal if we're like apart, because the way that they do it is you go out for 5 to 10 days at a time and then you go home. So it's not as if I will have to like live my life.
So it's not months on end.
No, I think that for comedians, because I know some other comics who work, only like 2 other comics who work for Carnival, who are based in upstate, but that's how they do it. And my agent, she said that's what you're just out for a little. So, but if you're like in a musical or something on a cruise, I think you're gone for like a long time. Like I think you're out there for like 6 months, and I wouldn't like that very much. I like this setup. I think this setup's going to be good.
It'll be a good balance.
Yeah, exactly. And then scurvy, hopefully I won't get it. I went on one cruise once with my grandma around Hawaii, and that was good. And I didn't get poisoned, and I didn't get seasick, so I think I'll be okay.
So Phil's staying at home.
Yeah, although he can come with me. I believe he can come with me, and it's only $7 a day for him to come with me. So, yes. So if someone wants to be my boyfriend or husband or girlfriend or anything.
I was just going to ask you about an arrangement there.
Yeah, a lot of my friends are like, can I come with you? And I'm like, yeah, if you want. Like, but I think that we have to share the room, so it's probably better for a husband.
After all the nudism, I think that's probably a bad idea.
I know.
Mark, you and I
lot to handle.
one crazy summer at Hedonism 2, and I referred to you as Little Buddy.
Oh, God, what's that? What's the Hedonism?
Hedonism 2 is like this big sex island.
Tom
God.
sometimes looks at me
That's
like I
horrible.
look at cake.
Oh, God, Tom. Oh, my God, Tom. That's very terrifying.
It's terrifying. All right. Yes.
Very inappropriate.
And we talked about this before the show. How is Rochester better than Buffalo for stand-up, aside from every possible way? And who has the craziest homeless people?
Ooh.
I feel as if I shouldn't say anything about it in any way, because then people from both Buffalo and Rochester will come and attack me.
You think there's a lot of pride for crazy homeless people?
Well,
You're
the
talking
crazy
about the comedy
homeless. I meant the comedy part, but the crazy homeless people I think is probably equal, because Rochester has a bad homeless problem, but only in some areas, and Buffalo seems like that the homeless people have spilled into like the more fancy areas too, kind of. Although I guess that happens in Rochester. I think it's equal. They're both crazy. And I feel very bad for them. And I don't mean to make fun of them on stage. I think that's very mean. But sometimes they say, like, the man,
catcalling and
the men with the catcalling. And I do think that's kind of horrible but funny. So, but yes, I hope I don't want to be known as someone who's just making fun of homeless people. It seems like not a good like Democrat thing to do, you know?
Niche comedy.
Yeah.
Not where you want.
Yeah, it makes me feel like not a very good liberal if we put it like that. But thank you. It's very sweet how you're referencing so many things. It's nice that you sat through all that video, because I have a hard time like sitting through.
Your YouTube Gabe is strong.
Thank you. That's very nice.
I meant to
of you.
say game. I said Gabe. I don't know.
I got what you were.
Maybe I was
I got what
thinking
you were
of
saying.
Gabe Kaplan from Welcome Back, Kotter.
Perhaps.
He was strong too, apparently.
Mark, was there a vote to excommunicate you from Rochester? Or did they just tar and feather you before running you out on a rail?
It was a vote. It was a vote. The judge, a petition.
Keep it brief.
There was all sorts of
Keep
things.
it brief for Mark. Madeline, thank you again for coming.
Listen.
I always
Shut up.
Is your web series Failing Upward on hiatus, writer's strike, or is it being retooled for IFC?
Well, I really had a lot of fun doing it, but if I do another one again, it just like it was so short. It was like 4 or 5 minute episodes. So it was really short, but it took like so long to do. And I think if I was gonna do something like that again, I would need I'd like to do something like that again. It was really fun, but I would need more time and energy and those girls who helped me with it. One of them moved to LA, so she is not anywhere near me now. The other one I think is still in New York. So maybe in
Perhaps.
the future, maybe I'll do it again, or maybe I'll
continued.
Yeah, maybe now that Phil has become such a good videographer, my husband, maybe I'll get him to just do it for free. Yeah, that would be ideal.
And unfortunately, I'm sorry, we have to touch down on this.
Oh, okay. Wait, what?
Well, I don't even want to discuss this, but will amputees be able to take advantage of the national anthem controversy by taking a stump?
God, that's
Can they
terrible.
take a Which part?
Take a
Which part is
stump.
terrible? Can they take a stump? It's a fair question.
I don't know. It seems kind of harsh. I mean, yeah.
Everybody
they
should
can
be
take
able
a
to cash
stump.
in on it, correct?
Oh, yeah. They should definitely be allowed to take a stump.
So you're saying amputees are not allowed to do that?
They what? Yes. No, I don't support it. I don't support it.
Madeleine Smith hates
I
amputees.
hate them.
You heard it here first.
And homeless people.
We've got her on record.
Hate them.
Moving away from that,
You headhunter.
how many opportunities did men miss out on in the realm of comedy as a direct result of your Rage Against the Vageen weekly showcase?
It was actually monthly showcase. I put my friend Jay on it once. I think I put Woody and Jay on it once as honorary women or something. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I thought when I was first starting in comedy and Mark at the comedy club asked me to do that, I was like, oh, this is so cool. But then since it's upstate in Western New York, I cycled through all the female comics who were from the greater Rochester
You
area.
pulled from the pool.
Yeah, I was Syracuse, Buffalo, Rochester. I got some people from Toronto and stuff. And then eventually, one time I had a group from New York come up. But after a year and a half, it was I was just using the same people
Yeah,
over and
yeah.
over because there's like 10
Yeah.
female comedians. So
I still have to see Becca, who could not be here.
I know I thought that Becca, but then we got you instead.
Our lovely consolation prize, Mark McElligott.
That's all right.
That's all right. That's all right. I mean, I'm glad you're here.
Miss Smith, is it Smith Murphy? Do you prefer Smith Murphy?
Oh, no, my it's very confusing. My middle name is Murphy. My what is it called when it's before you're married? My
Like
maiden my maiden name is Smith, but I actually legally my name is now hyphenated to Smith Bowen, which is my husband's. I did hyphenate it because I do love him and I didn't want him to feel as if, but I still go by Madeleine Smith. I probably should have changed it to Bowen because now there's another comedian named Madeleine Smith in New York City, so quite a conundrum. But she goes by Maddie. She's Maddie Smith. I'm Madeleine Smith, so hopefully it'll just
Sick your agent on her. Perhaps.
my cruise ship agent. I don't think she cares about
Cease and
anything.
desist. Just cease and desist.
No, Maddie's nice. Maddie, she and I did Fringe Fest shows together where it was like the Maddie Smith comedy hour, which was fun, but I think people were confused. Like, I think they thought we were going to do like a
Combo thing.
Yeah, and so they were kind of confused.
Now, due to your love of improv, is your end game a permanent hosting spot on Whose Line Is It Anyway? Is that the
My love of improv. Why are
sketch
you
comedy
saying
is
this?
fucking horrible?
Oh no! Wait, what? I don't think that. I do not in any way hate improv. I just think
Terrible.
I think that when stand up is really bad, it's really horrible to sit through. Like at open mics when there's really bad people, that's horrible. But I think like with improv, it's like for some reason more horrible to me to sit through really bad improv because it's like
Yeah.
I don't know.
Uncomfortable.
It's like really awkward.
Yeah.
But so is bad stand up. So I don't know. It's both bad.
absolutely.
They both suck.
Mark, what are you saying?
No, I'm just saying absolutely. I've sat through some bad stand-up.
Here's one
Yeah.
more for you, Mark.
Oh, good.
Based on early sketches, did you model your cartoon character Starchy the Dark Spud after shrunken, caved-in Easter Island head Terry Kimmel?
Oh God.
No, Terry Kimmel is not. He is the inspiration for some of the humor,
I see.
but he's not the inspiration for the design. No.
Gotcha. I gotta check it out. It sounds really crazy.
It's
Madeline,
fun.
I apologize for Mark's presence.
Oh, it's all right. That's quite all right.
Also,
I enjoy it.
you gave me an amazing bonus clip for this show. Big Words
Oh
Video
yeah.
43.1.
I was so confused about like technology and stuff, but I'm glad that we worked it out. Yes, we figured it out.
Now, what do you have advice for shutting hecklers down from the jump?
Well, that clip was when I had first started doing crowd work, and I think one good thing is I can think very fast on my feet, so I think it's good. That's why I never want to smoke weed or drink or anything before shows, because I'm worried about being slow, and I don't want to be slow in any way. So yeah, I think it's just trying to be quick and people think it's really funny if you're like shitting on them too. People always like that. So
I thought it was going to get violent at the end. I thought there was going to be an incident during the clip.
yeah, that kind of was. Not really, yeah. But then after that, he was like coming over and talking to me. Most of the time, it's usually okay. I think partially like maybe a little bit being like an unassuming young lady is like, even though I'll be like shitting on these people, I think that it doesn't like, they don't get quite as upset as if it was like a dude where they have like the urge to fight. I think with a woman, they're kind of embarrassed about it, but I don't think that they usually want to like fight me or anything.
Do you think your background with small children has helped you with drunken adults?
Yeah, definitely.
Is there a direct correlation there?
Yes, and I also worked for 3 years, was teaching adults with disabilities too. So a lot of people just like talking and yelling and talking over me, and children are like that. And yeah, so yeah. So I think so.
And would you say that fellow comic Kelsey Claire Hagin is she Louise to your Thelma, or more of a Jay-Z to your Justin Timberlake?
I need to just slowly push her away. No,
You're
not
shoving
at
her
all.
out of the limelight.
Not at all. It is funny though, because I was
Jeez.
You said you were far more talented than her.
It's true. Sorry, Kelsey. I love to do stuff with her, but I did realize within the past like 6 months, we did go on a tour together, like you had mentioned previously, which was super fun. But I realized that now people just always, I think that we are like one person, which is fine, and I really like to be with her, but I think sometimes it's like it's just hard because then you're like they always are like, we'll book you as a unit, and I think that she and I don't always want to be, we want to be like separate entities. But I think that happens with people who are similar in style. Sometimes people just think of them as like one thing.
So in a way you're saying that your talent and career have eclipsed her? Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. Get it on. No, actually, she's like doing better than me. I feel like she is gonna open for Maria Bamford, which is like really amazing, and I'm like so jealous. I'm so jealous. Yeah, we both sent in video clips, and Maria picked Kelsey Clare and not me. So now I want to kill myself, but it's fine. It's fine. It's good for Kelsey. And this is the question that I referenced earlier that I'm going to hell for. So again,
dear.
I'm sorry.
What is it?
I don't know.
What? Oh my God.
In addition to leaving the toilet seat down, what does feminism mean to you?
Oh, I don't think that is a part of it, but that's a fair thing for us to fight for. I'm
so sorry.
Now, this is what you guys were talking about before. You were like, I didn't want to have to ask it, but feminism.
Kind of did reword it a little too.
I'm sorry.
Why? Because you realized how
we talked about it on the whole car ride.
You
we
did? You
yes,
were like, this is terrible.
Discussed. Well,
is it funny? Is it worth it? And then we're going to deconstruct it and ruin it.
Oh God.
Right. Yeah.
So I feel as if, so I think that people think of me in that way, right? They're like, oh, you're like a feminist comedian, which is nice.
You said in your act that you're a feminist.
No, I am. No, I am 100% a feminist.
Okay.
It's just funny because I feel, no, you are right. And I do say that on stage, but I do feel as if that I get pegged as that a lot, which I am very much so a feminist, but I think it's just funny how I think sometimes if you're a woman on stage and then you're like, I believe that women should have equal rights, people will be, not that there's anything wrong with being a feminist, it's what everyone should be, but I feel as if people will be like, well, okay, you're a fucking feminist, so I can't, you know what I mean? They're like, I don't want to have you on my show because all you're going to do is talk about how you like love Hillary Clinton and like
just yammering on about your vagina.
Yes, people are like, you're going to talk about your vagina, your period. No, it's true. People are like, you're going to talk about your vagina, you're going to talk about your period, you're going to talk about your your love of Hillary Clinton and your, just stuff like, which is, it's fine, but I just feel like people get very pigeonholed. Like, because when I do say it on stage, I believe I say it in like in a sort of a throwaway line, right? Because I say about as a strong feminist woman, I should be able to change a tire or something.
Yes.
And then sometimes, most of the time, people are like, ha ha ha. But sometimes people are like mad just that I say that. Yeah, literally, just that I said the word feminist, which is insane because feminist just means, equality between the genders. It means that, if I were to do a show and do the same amount of time as another guy, I would want to be paid the same amount of money. And people
that seems fair.
It's very fair. And I want to be able to, leave a show at like 1:30 a.m. and walk to my car and not be raped or murdered or, not have to worry about these things so much. And that's essentially what feminism is. But a lot of people make it as if, especially with Kelsey Clare and I, doing shows together that were to raise money for like victims of sexual assault, which is like a great thing. But people act as if that you're like, oh, so you hate men?
Yeah, like you're gonna be these angry.
So you hate all men? And I'm like, no, not in the slightest. I'm married, and
where would they even get that?
I just have experienced it, not to like the extreme, because obviously things are going well and I'm not suffering and I'm on a lot of shows, but I have experienced people kind of just being like, maybe you should cool it with your statuses, with your Facebook statuses and stuff. Like my one friend was like, well, people might not want to book you on a show because you seem like a angry feminist millennial who's just gonna be like upset about anything. And I was like, that's crazy. Like I feel like I'm not upset about most things. I feel like I take a lot of things on the chin. For example, the guy yelling at me in the bar and stuff. So
you must, at 4 years, you've logged a lot of hours on the road.
Yeah, definitely.
You've done big venues, small venues, corporate venues?
Yes, I did a couple corporate parties, but like Christmas parties, which is good for like money, but it's like kind of rough. It's a little rough. You're definitely not talking about feminism or anything. Like nobody wants nobody wants that at all. So, yeah.
In the world of other controversies, has the world reached its limit on pumpkin spice jokes?
Oh man.
And if so, can we cease and desist, or do you have?
You mean like making fun of people for liking it, making fun of like girls for liking it because they're like basic type
It's like
dealio?
pumpkin spice season.
It is.
And then people
get so crazy about it.
for or against
Oh, if do you like it? What do you think? What are your thoughts?
spice.
Pumpkin is no, I'm not a fan.
Really?
Yeah,
I like
mean-
it. I like it. I'm into it. But not like it's, yeah. I think my husband likes it more than I do. I'm not. He likes to get all the pumpkin flavored things.
An occasional pumpkin pie around Thanksgiving or something. Maybe,
Yeah.
But, otherwise,
Yeah.
yeah.
No,
Madeline
it's
asked
okay.
for your opinion. She didn't really want it, Mark.
She didn't want a speech, Mark. Shut up.
Listen.
Okay, yeah.
I'm looking away.
And you're also, I don't know if it's a matter of being comfortable with your material, with yourself, but I notice you're not afraid of a long pause before the payoff. Yes. You seem to enjoy it or relish it.
I don't know if that's good or
Is
not.
that timing or is that
Well,
self-assuredness?
I started doing that because I noticed that a lot of people, like especially like New York City comics, because they get such short stage time sets that they'll like power through really fast. But then I think that people don't hear and they don't like laugh at jokes as much because they're like. And then I kind of just did it accidentally where I was doing some shows at Helium and I would like take like a big pause and people would laugh and laugh. And I was like, well, it seems like I can get better reaction if I like take a pause, make a face, like let people like soak in what's happening. And I didn't do that at first, but now after a couple of years.
You're okay with it?
Yes.
You're okay with it?
Yeah, I think it's good when you're on stage to have like some periods of silence where people are actually like listening and pulled in.
Silence can be funny.
Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely.
I agree.
You should be silent more often.
I know.
Madeline, how long ago did you pass the point of being proud over a full joke notebook?
Oh, of going through a whole joke? Oh, I think after I've been doing it for like 6. Well, I was going to say 6 months, but that might be like a little extreme. I think after like a year, maybe. I think, yeah.
And the new year brings New York City?
Yes, I'm actually next week going down there to look at apartments, and I might try to get like a temp job or something before the cruise ship job starts because it's very expensive down there. So my gigs will probably not cover the rents, at least for now.
And much like other comedians, when you get to the different tax bracket, will you be trading up to a new trophy husband?
Well, I don't know if I'll ever make a lot of money and stand up, but maybe. But no, I will not trade my husband. He's pretty cool. I like him a lot.
And the Rob's dates. One of the Rob's Comedy Playhouse dates, we're running out of time here.
Actually, it's only October 7th. I thought that I had more, but I actually only have October 7th, which is Saturday. There's 2 shows, 7:30 and 9:30, I think. And I'll if people want to check out my website, you can see the other stuff. Usually every month I try to do at least 10 to 15 shows, but I think in October I won't do quite as much because I am trying to move that month. So I might have to. Right now I only have 5 or 6.
Shows lined up.
Yeah.
Agent approved. The agent booked them.
No, she only does the cruise ship. Every other gig I do, I have to book myself, which is why I probably don't get paid very much money for them because she doesn't do. She only does the cruise ships. Yeah.
Do you have does she handle the PR firm as well?
Yes.
And the website is MadeleineSmithComedy.com, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay.
And it's Madelein because people always misspell it. There's
It's tricky.
no E on the end.
It's tricky for some.
It is very, very confusing to people.
Madeline, I thank you for making the trek for my nonsense.
Of course.
Mark,
What?
can't say the same for you. Really can't. We can't.
Get out.
It's okay.
I'll see you in a month, folks.